Hello, aspiring hunters. Welcome to the Hunter Experience. Nasubi Huiguo-Ru might be the most dangerous villain in Hunter x Hunter for several reasons, and the scariest one is how he acts silently, calculating, and strategic. Unlike other villains who seek power out of personal ambition or ego, Nasubi does not act in haste or anger. He is cold, rational, and always seems to be several steps ahead of everyone else. His worldview is imperialist, with the goal of expanding the Kakim Empire, his kingdom, on a global scale. If you're prepared for the incredible Hunter journey, click like and subscribe to the channel to join our troop. Don't forget to comment on who your favorite character is in Hunter x Hunter. Now, let's continue with this incredible story. Nasubi is the leader of a vast empire, and his method of ruling is based on the concept of social imperialism. This means that he not only controls his people, but also uses the internal struggles within his empire, such as the succession war, to strengthen the empire as a whole, gradually absorbing other nations through his succession strategy. This succession system is bloody and violent, with his children being forced to fight each other to the death to secure the throne. This ensures that only the strongest or most cunning rise to power, which also allows Nasubi to maintain a highly disciplined line of succession focused on the empire's interests. What truly makes him a terrifying threat, however, is the fact that when Nasubi takes the throne, the Kakim Empire is already consolidated and has little left to conquer in the human world. The Kakim Empire is at its peak, and any conventional expansion would mean direct conflict with international powers like the V5A military alliance of 5 powerful nations that ensure global security. However, Nasubi is not foolish. Instead of seeking direct expansion, he decides to focus on the Dark Continent, an unknown land that represents not just new territory, but a valuable resource that could give Kakim an immense military and strategic advantage. This move is far more complex than it seems. Nasubi knows that this journey to the Dark Continent could catch the V5 off guard, as they were not prepared for such a bold maneuver. For him, this is the first step in weakening the world powers while ensuring that the Kakim Empire gains access to the resources of this mysterious land. To achieve this, he aligns himself with Beyond Netero, a hunter who decades ago failed in his own attempt to explore the Dark Continent. However, Beyond possesses valuable knowledge about the region, and his partnership with Nasubi is mutually beneficial. While Nasubi expands his empire into the Dark Continent, Beyond gains the freedom to hunt and explore without the restrictions of the Hunter Association. Nasubi also possesses a rare strategic intelligence. He not only manipulates his allies, but also exploits the weaknesses of others to his advantage. His plan goes beyond simply conquering territory. He is building a network of allies and enemies who will later play crucial roles in his ambitions. Additionally, he understands the value of political manipulation. The transition of the Kakim Empire from an imperialist system to a parliamentary democracy is, in reality, a facade away to soften his image and prevent the V5 from seeing him as a direct threat. By doing so, he manages to attract the V5 members into his plan without raising suspicion while maintaining absolute power within his empire. What makes Nasubi even more dangerous is the succession war he orchestrates among his children. This brutal conflict serves as both a ruthless training ground for those aspiring to the throne and a means to weaken any potential internal resistance. Nasubi manipulates this war so that only the strongest and most loyal can rise to the top, ensuring that the empire remains firmly under his control. Furthermore, he is not afraid to use external resources, such as Pariston Hill, who plays a crucial role in manipulating the Hunter Association. Pariston, with his control over the association and his ability to influence decisions, becomes a key piece in Nasubi's political game. Nasubi is constantly calculating his moves, indifferent to the lives he destroys along the way. He is not driven by revenge or anger, but by an almost pathological need to expand his empire. His coldness and ability to manipulate everyone around him are what make him such a great threat. He does not hesitate to sacrifice his own children or allies if it means achieving his goals. The Kakim Empire is all that matters to him, and he is willing to do anything to ensure that his empire continues to grow and dominate. His skill in manipulation is astonishing. Even powerful figures like Beyond and Pariston become mere pieces in Nasubi's game, and he uses them without remorse. At the same time, he weakens formidable enemies like the Hunter Association and creates a scenario of chaos and uncertainty that facilitates his rise to power. His true ambition goes far beyond any other villain we have seen in the series. He wants to control the entire human world, but his ultimate goal seems even darker: global domination and possibly the transformation of the Kakim Empire into an unstoppable superpower. Nasubi does not act impulsively. He carefully plans each move, and his ability to keep his plans secret is what makes him so feared. While other villains may be defeated by emotional flaws or miscalculations, Nasubi is extremely methodical and leaves nothing to chance. He is the type of villain that by the time you realize how dangerous he truly is, it might already be too late to stop him. After Isaac Netero's death, the security and balance he provided to the world begin to crumble, creating a power vacuum that facilitates the rise of figures like Nasubi Huiguo-Rou. For years, Netero was the central pillar of the Hunter Association, not just as its chairman, but as the last line of defense against powerful threats, both internal and external. His immense strength, strategic expertise, and above all, his sense of justice kept any villain or faction in check. With his death, the world finds itself vulnerable in ways it never was before. Netero was not only a symbol of strength, but also a great strategist and a true guardian of world balance. His presence prevented figures like Nasubi from advancing their plans without facing substantial resistance. His power was so great that even the most ambitious feared crossing the line, knowing that any attempted expansion could be halted by his strength or influence. He was the one who prevented major wars from breaking out, especially regarding powerful entities like the Kakim Empire and the constant threat of potential alliances with dangerous individuals and organizations. Without Netero, the V5, an alliance of 5 powerful nations that traditionally helped maintain global order, loses its defense structure, as he was the communication bridge and the main authoritative voice capable of unifying these nations against a common enemy. The Hunter Association, without a strong president and with internal divisions, as seen with Pariston Hill and the power struggles, becomes a weaker entity, unable to gather the strength needed to face external threats. Nasubi, aware of this weakness, begins to move with greater freedom. With the Hunter Association weakened, the lack of strong leadership in the V5, and the dissolution of internal resistance, he has the perfect opportunity to expand his empire and begin extending his claws over the Dark Continent, a territory that, until Netero's death, was unknown and isolated, but now presents itself as fertile ground for exploration. And this is where the true threat reveals itself. Nasubi is not just a conqueror seeking to control more land, but a strategist who recognizes the importance of establishing a new global domain. The Kakim Empire, under his leadership, is no longer confined to its original kingdom. He sees the chance to establish a new world order, where his vision of a brutal and relentless empire will overshadow the current powers and the notion of democracy that still prevails in many parts of the world. Furthermore, Netero's death not only removes the greatest physical obstacle to Nasubi, but also weakens the morale of many hunters. Netero was a mentor and a symbol for those fighting to protect peace. Without him, many younger and less experienced hunters, such as Gon and Killua, find themselves lost in a world that is more unpredictable and dangerous. These hunters, although powerful, lack the experience and leadership ability that Netero had, which puts them in a vulnerable position in an increasingly chaotic environment. With the loss of such a crucial hero, the world not only loses a solid line of defense against external threats, but also a stabilizing force within the power structures themselves. Netero's absence creates a vacuum that allows various groups and factions, such as the Kakim Empire, to begin moving freely, expanding their influence and extending their reach in directions that were once impossible. It is in this context that Nasubi becomes more than just a figure of power in the Kakim Empire. He becomes a catalyst for global change. By expanding his empire into the Dark Continent and manipulating world powers, he starts to threaten the structure of the world order that Netero helped maintain for so long. This puts global peace at risk and leads to a new era of instability, where those with power, like Nasubi, have no one left to stop them from achieving their goals. Without Netero's presence and the stability he provided, the world is vulnerable to new challenges. The rise of new villains and factions will be easier, and without a leader like Netero to direct the fight against these dangers, the emerging scenario is one of a world at the mercy of any threat that arises. Nasubi may be the first to seize this opportunity, but others may follow the same path, as the power vacuum created by Netero's death leaves the world open to new conflicts, new struggles, and new battles for supremacy. The absence of a central authority figure places the world in danger of a new type of empire, an empire of chaos and oppression, where personal ambition and the desire for power are the only rules that truly matter. Hunters, that was our video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed our video, subscribe to the channel as it is still very new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then.